Now I'll also show you parameters. The parameters are something when you're having an issue with some functionality which is not working as expected. Either you reach out to connect or you found it from some your knowledge that particular parameter need to be in this status. For example, application SM vendor, enhance the tax info. The value should be false in order to work correctly. Then you need to come here in the configuration parameters. Make that edit and do the changes. Unless you are sure about this configuration information, do not make any changes. It will change the behavior of your application based on this particular parameter. So this parameter. Earlier it was controlled by Ariba. Ariba slowly. I mean over a period of time, which is some standard processes are giving the functionality to the business users. I mean customer administration, to manage their own parameters by themselves. This is called your parameters, managed by buyer. Some parameters are controlled, still with Ariba only. Those parameters. If you want to make changes, you need to raise a support ticket. One support ticket is raised in test environment. They will enable. So this is generally a process, will be. They will ask first. You will tell them to enable that in a test environment. Do the functionality testing. If the functionality is working as expected, do a regression testing. Make sure that the other processes are not affected. Once these two are done, you will come back to them. Okay, now we have validated in test environment. Please move to the production environment. Then Ariba will enable the same parameter in production also. So that is called parameters maintained by Ariba. The one which you are seeing here as self-service parameter where you can able to enable yourself. The parameter. What you are seeing is that limited to the same administration only. The parameters for different environment, like buying or invoicing. Where do you see? I'll go to manage. Who will not have an access to that? So I'll show you from where you will find that information. Manage for administration. Or administration. If you want to make changes to buying, sourcing and contact, go to the administration. If you are going for buying and invoicing, go to core administration. Click on Intelligent Configuration Manager. Once you click on this Manage Configurations, it will take you to another site. Click on Continue using your username and password. It will take you to the other side. You don't need any login details, but you should have permission. You need that configuration. Once you come here generally we are not seeing here. By here you will see the parameters. Once you click on the parameters, then the same what you are seeing in the previous SM administration. Yes or no? You will modify that. It will also provide a small brief about that particular parameter. Once you make these changes, you can save that item. And now you can do your testing and do the same for production environment. One advantage here is, Ariba will create a project and you can also send the project for an approval. So first it will be enabled in test environment and you do the proper testing of that item. Once testing is performed, you accept that change. So whatever you enable the parameter, accept that change. That system will ask you, should I move this to production? Then you click on Yes. Automatically. The setting will be enabled in production. Then you don't need any login details. For example, since I'm logging, I see him from a tester environment. I'm taking to the test space. If I want to do the parameter changes in production, I will log into the production system. I open this file and I will going to see the parameters enabled in production. If you want to make changes to any of the existing parameters, then you follow the method called project. Once the project is created, it will go to the necessary approvals. Also can be configured. Once the person is approved, you validate it in testing and confirm. You can attach the document. So once the testing is accepted, then that same parameter will be updated in production. Then you don't need production login. So that's how you manage your parameters. Self-service parameters in Alibaba. I will complete one more topic today, then we will wind up. So last time when we are creating a peer, we are unable to submit because external system was not configured. So there is one method where I was able to perform the change. I'm going to show that. So, going to the home page, click on Procurement. So here I'm going to say, we are 3, 5, 6, 3. We do clicking on that. Okay, now let us assume that you are made for a quantity of 2 quantities of $150-300. I was made a peer. Now I have an option to make copy of this peer, create a new version and submit it. But that is not allowing me to submit it, because it says the system is not there. Now I want to change my PR by clicking on Change button on the PR. It will change the version to V3 or I go to Orders. This is the purchase order which was created again in this purchase requisition. I'll open the order. So this is your purchase order. You will be seeing different types related to the purchasing. You can make a changes to the purchase order. Even if you make a changes to the purchase order. Let's see. I'm going to change this purchase order change. System going to change on your PR only. It is not directly going to change on PO. You will see here PR 3, 5, 6, 3. Question 3, that's the reason in anyone is asking you cannot make changes to your PO directly in Ariba. So the option is provided in PO chain, but you're basically changing the PR only. Either you change from PR or you change from order. Both are same. This case, I'm just changing the quantity to 3. I'll click on Submit button. Then it will go for a necessary approval task. So once I submitted, I will be seeing the request. Basically your PR, you will be seeing the PR version 3. Now submitted. What will happen after submitted? It will check for approvals, so who are all approvals? Customer administrators and category manager is approved. As I mentioned, since I'm having approval as an administrator, I can able to delete the approval flow only downstream, not possible in upstream. I'm going to delete as a best practice. Delete from the right-hand side. Once I deleted the category manager. Still it is in submit. Once I delete this approval also, then you will see the approval will go for approved status. So I'm going to delete the approval. Delete the approval. Submitted. Now you can see this approved status. Wait for a second. It will move to ordered status also. Approved, but the next step will be receiving status. Now it is already in receiving status because we made a change. Now you can see the order is created with the EP805, because this was an earlier version which is in receiving status now. After order status, it moved to the next status. Also you can see the version 3 got created in the PR. When I go to the history PR, history will give me details about what I have made, the changes here. So I have PR EP805 was successfully sent to ERP. Approvals are not required. Then order got created. Now the supplier will also see version 3 of the supplier. Sorry.